Hey everybody, today we're going to be going over our War of Odinium that happened this weekend. This war was a pretty lopsided one. It was against the Russian Mafia of server 809, and a lot of it had to do with their level of participants, I think. So they had 15 people join, whereas we had 30, and all 30 of ours were in probably within the first 10 to 15 minutes, so that's pretty good for War of Odinium to have that many in there right away. And then so we had 75,000 points. They had about 2,000. And like I said, a lot of that had to do with just them not showing up. Don't know if it's because their server is dying or if it's just because maybe they saw the matchup and told their players not to play. But in my mind, no matter what, and this goes with all events in the games, especially when they're just war events where you don't lose troops, participate in it because no matter what, worst that happens is you waste a little bit of time and you get some not as good of rewards as if you won. So no matter what, there's rewards for the loser also. So definitely something you want to consider when you're looking at these events. So with that, we'll look at our rankings here. So we had Papa Rick, and then Animal was from their server, Jen, me, Sam, Mighty, Alexa, Rob Drago, Styles, Zan, Garula, Foe, Striker 45, Chakra, sorry, and Get It Lit. So those are kind of the top 15. You'll see that they had 3 guys up there. A lot of that had to do with kills. So what they were doing is they were attacking us in a tower, getting their kills, and then retreating right away. Just because I'm assuming they kind of knew that they couldn't hold a tower, and instead of losing troops, they could kill and then call back, and they were able to get lots of individual points that way. Enough to overtake us, who were all basically just sitting in the tower. Um, Other than that, I'm going to run a replay for you guys quick. Oh, that's not the replay. And then talk to you guys a little bit about the War of Odinium. Should be my first one. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. This one? Here we go. We're going to run this guy. So while this plays, just a couple things about the War of Odinium. So with the matchups, you'll find that your matchup seems to be lopsided one way or the other. So there's 2 reasons for that. One is that the participants aren't there. So if one server doesn't show up, obviously it's going to be a lopsided battle just because there's not enough people on the other team. Participants is a big part of this event. If you don't have your full team and they don't have their full team, it's not going to be as much fun to begin with. And then another part of it is due to dead servers. So with that, dead servers can make a big difference about how well things turn out. So for say, if this server was dead and they only have like 3 big players and the rest of the people are kind of all just kind of moseying around still, it makes it really unfair because basically it's like they only have 3 players, whereas we had 30 active people. All of our players scored pretty decently in the event, and that makes for an unfair war too. The only way for Top War to fix these unfair matchups is to do something like they did with Server War and make a ranking system. So if you win a war, you get a point, or you lose a war, you lose a point. That way you'd slowly weed out and you'd start to get into brackets where you'd get to fight similar power people and similar activity people. The only problem with that, though, is going to be you're going to end up fighting the same types of people every single time because you're going to hit the point where you're in a bracket with people your same power. You're going to beat them. They're going to win their next war. You're going to lose your next war, and then you guys are going to fight again. So it's kind of a tricky place that Top War is put in. Not really sure of a solution for them, but only thing I can think of is just maybe doing like a tier. So doing something where there's like a play-in tournament, and then from there just saying, okay, these are tier 1 alliances, here are tier 2, here are tier 3, and then the matchups go off of that. And then that way and then redo that every like half year or so. That way that you'd be playing more, or I shouldn't say more fun, I should say more enjoyable matchups, because having wipe or complete wipeouts is not fun. Uh, it's really not enjoyable to sit there and just basically watch your troops gather points for you. And it's not probably not enjoyable for the other team to sit there and watch the other team gather points and you not really be able to do much about it. So, just some talking points for War of Odinium for Top War to kind of think of ways to fix that type of stuff, because otherwise, that event's kind of just there. I mean, the rewards are good for it. That's why I do it, but it's not really enjoyable unless you have a good matchup like we had last week, where we did both. It came down to the wire, so you'll see this guy right here is probably the only like close matchup we've had. We had we won big time, close matchup. We won big time. We won big time. We won big time. They won big time. We won big time. They won big time. So as you can see, it all kind of depends on what server is versus what server, and it also depends on like us being server 970. We really shouldn't be put against server 500 because that's a lot longer for them to have gathered components and things like that, where it's going to create an unfair matchup almost no matter what. So it's all kind of a balancing thing for Top War. Uh, with that, though, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you all enjoy the video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and see ya.